Hello, everyone. This is Phoenix Remaining. Today, we're going to talk about Beyond the Gates, Episode 2. But before we begin, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. It's free to do. It helps me out a lot. So please go ahead and do that. And so thank you in advance for those that choose to help me out. We also have a membership where you get early access to videos such as this one. And we have in the membership, we have our lives on Friday where we'll be discussing all of our, all of the soaps. And I'm sure we're going to be talking this Friday a lot about Beyond the Gates. The main soap that usually we get into is General Hospital. But this week, yeah, I think Beyond the Gates is going to be the talk. So we are going to begin with episode 2, taking myself out so that we can focus on uh, the different pictures of what happened in the episode. So it begins when Nicole talks to Laura. This is actually Jane. I couldn't find a screenshot where she talked to Laura. Um, and she had a hard time picking a candidate for the scholarship that she has. And Jan wants her to make up her mind about the menu. And this is Jan asking her to make up her mind about the menu for this big event they have coming up. She then runs into her husband, Ted, which we get to see for the first time. He says all the right things, and this makes fans on social media scared about what's to happen next. Many soap fans do want drama, but they also want to see loving couples. And they are really the picture perfect couple, saying all the right things, and he knows how to make her smile and feel good. And that was very nice to see on camera, especially you don't get to see this type of imagery a lot. But he's got some baby mama drama coming, and it's just about to start. And then she's about to find out that he got a kid. And so, we'll get into it in episode 3, but Laura's about to be run off the road so that Eva can take her place as their revenge plot to on Nicole and Leslie not being the one that ended up with Ted. Typical soap opera stuff, but it's very glad to see we know all this drama is coming. And I'm happy for it because I do love them as a couple. And I think, and I'm just going to pause for a second to say, as a writer, I feel like they should have more couples like this that are in love, happy, and supportive of each other, not just the dramas and the baby mamas and all that kind of stuff, but have them be the two of us against the world type story. Like, have them be a very strong, loving, supportive couple and have outside forces come in and try to do things and not just like the direction they're about to go in. But as I said, I'm cool with it. I just hope that they do add some more loving couples that we can just root for, period. Martin and Vernon talk about what happened with Danny punching Haley. Vernon hates that Danny was pushed to a violent act, but Martin is cool with it. This is a precursor to Vernon's unease about a secret regarding Martin, as we will soon learn that it's one of the secrets Bill is ready to blackmail him with, and Martin is having nightmares about, which we'll see in episode 3, I think, uh, where we'll hear the little pow pow when he's dreaming. So I believe somebody did not make it, and Bill covered it up, but that's a speculation for now. We also have Anita checking up on Danny, who's watching wedding photos with her and Bill. And Danny's trying to figure out where it all went wrong, but Anita encourages her to stay strong and to not become this woman that wallows in so much self-pity. Um, Ashley continues her first day at at Garland as her first day as a nurse, and she gets a visit from her mom and the mother-daughter duo of Leslie and Eva, who I just mentioned earlier. that's going to be Ted's daughter. Eva's going to be Ted's daughter. And Leslie, even, they trying to give you them hints where they talk about Nicole having such a perfect life. And, she's like, but yeah, Nicole's definitely the target. Eva, we get our first hint of the relationship. Leslie, as she stares down Ted. Here it is. So this is your first hint that this is the man that Leslie had the affair with, which produced Eva. And we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. So hold tight for the paternity bombshell coming. And there's also a note that Eva is revealed to be a hairstylist. Um, Another thing to note about this scene is on social media, many fans were shocked that Ashley was raised by a single mother. It's not often that we see white single mothers, especially on soaps. My memory goes back to, unless they're an adoption storyline, my memory goes back to Alice and One Day at a Time as examples that come to mind of white characters that were single mothers. In the comments, do you remember other shows that focused on white characters that were single mothers? Because I drew a blank. You see, I went back to Alice and One Day at a Time, but the reaction on social media sort of let me know that that's not a normal thing. And we're going to get back to the fun of what's going on in this episode. The audacity I talked about in episode one continues in episode two. Uh, because Haley shows up in Nicole's with some cookies, asking for help to be accepted into the Faircrest community. I am so glad Nicole told her no and to put her out. Take your cookies and go. I can only imagine how Danny would have lost her mind even more if she was betrayed by her sister. Luckily, the bond is strong enough for her not to go there. So is Haley just delusional? A little cray cray, thinking that, she could get Nicole to help her. We're going to go back to the office where Jan, as you see, is trying to eavesdrop on Nicole and Haley, but gets distracted when Laura says she's going to Maui in hopes that her boyfriend, Dave, proposes to her. Jan suddenly tries to talk Laura out of marriage at a young age. Jan says the marriage wasn't for her, and she doesn't regret not having kids or getting married. But when Laura says that she feels like the daughter that Jan never had, it instantly made me wonder if Laura will turn out to be Jan's daughter that maybe she gave up for adoption. Just for watching so many soaps, that's the vibe I kind of got when characters say stuff like that. But I want to know in the comment section, what do you think about Jan's, you know, trying to talk Laura out of the idea of marriage? That kind of caught me off guard, and I want to know how you guys feel about that. If you were a coworker, friend of Laura's, would you encourage her to get married if that's what she wants to do? Or would you tell her to go out there, live her best life, and get into her garden hoe phase? I mean, garden tool phase. I try to say things carefully with you too. But yeah, the garden tool. I see on, YouTube videos and social media, women encouraging other women to not just get married and get out there and try a whole bunch of different men out and stuff like that. And, that's not for everybody. Some people like monogamy and want to get married and have a family early so that they can enjoy retirement early. I just saw an article where a woman got pregnant at 64 years old. 64. But yeah, some people want to start early so that, in 20, 30 years, they can live their best life with their husband, retiring and just enjoying the grandkids, not being a grandmother, or, still raising your kids when you're in your 50s, 60s, and 70s. But anyway, I'm going to move on. Comment section, if you have any comments on that, let me know. We also met another new character who I actually liked, even though she didn't have much to do. Ashley meets her trainer, Shanice Johnson. And I kind of got General Hospital Epiphany vibes from her. You know, Epiphany, um, may the actress please rest in peace. But the character Epiphany Johnson, I think her name was Epiphany Johnson on General Hospital. I think Shanice is going to kind of be that kind of character. Bill discovers that Danny punched Haley in the face. He wants to do something about it, but she said that she toughed it out, ate her bagel, and let it go. She wants to fight her own battles and hit so that she can be respected. And Haley is upset that no one is going to show up at her wedding. So Bill decides he's going to fix it and make sure that their wedding isn't going to be um, basically ignored by the community that Haley is desperately wants to be a part of. And I personally am looking forward to this wedding. I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, but as you can see, at the actual wedding, Danny and the entire family that's on the left, they're all dressed like it's a funeral. I personally think that Danny should have wore white because that's like the one thing you're not supposed to do at a wedding is wear white. So I would have had the whole family going ahead and wear black like it's a funeral, and I would have Danny wear white, trying to look better than the bride, which some jealous women in the past have done in real life. Because I think that even happened in my family. That's how I found out like such a faux pas. You're not supposed to wear white during somebody else's wedding. And in my family, someone tried to outshine the bride by wearing a sexy white dress. And I remember, I was just a kid, but I just remember the adults talking about her and being upset that she tried to show up the bride, which is why I said I could easily see Danny doing something like that. And next we get a scene of Danny putting makeup and finding a good outfit to wear. We didn't know what was about to happen, but yeah, Danny's headed to Bill's office. Now we're going to talk about Martin and Smitty. Martin comes home to his husband Smitty. Martin and Smitty talk about their adopted kids, Tyrell and Samantha. Martin is annoyed that he asks Smitty about Tyrell's calculus test, and Smitty just says he passed, and Martin doesn't think just passing is good enough, showing the dynamics of different points of view that happen in an interracial marriage or even interracial couple about how, you know, you can see two different point of views on how, let's say, you know, as a black person, you have to go above and beyond, you know, sometimes just to be the best, especially in a family like his. You're encouraged to be not just good, you're encouraged to be great. Whereas Smitty was like, you know, very more laid back about the grades and that he's just basically being a teenager. They talked about Samantha being 16 and if they should let her date. Smitty feels they should let her date so that she doesn't sneak around. Later, Smitty tries to find out what's going on in Martin's nightmares, but Martin does not want to talk about it. So I do have a picture that Mike Manning, who plays Smitty, posted on his Instagram showing us the two kids that they were talking about, the actors that played Tyrell and Samantha. And people pointed something out that I can't unsee. They're like, why is Samantha supposed to be 16 and she looks like she's like 29? Maybe on camera she'll look younger, but just this regular schmegler picture from Instagram, she don't look like nobody's 16-year-old. You know, she looks like she could be like a peer. But we'll see when she's actually on camera if she looks 16 or if this is just like a bad picture of her. Um, we also get Andre flirting with Ashley again and asking her if she's still with that firefighter, Derek. Janice then comes in and warns her once Andre is gone that Andre is a player and she shouldn't risk what she has with her boyfriend. And Shanice, the way she's talking, I think Shanice and Andre might have hooked up. But we'll see if that plays out because he is a player. He's flirting with Ashley, but we know he's gonna hit the sheets with Danny based on, the preview trailers. He's going to be doing what they do with Danny. So that's good soap opera messy. Because now you got Ashley, Shanice and Danny all possibly interested in this one guy. Bill comes over and he cryptically threatens Vernon that if he doesn't get the family of Faircrest residents to come to the wedding, he lets him know that he helped out his family and when they needed it, and now he wants the same consideration. So he doesn't come out and threaten Vernon, but it's definitely implied that he doesn't have to keep the family secrets anymore, especially if he's not getting anything out of the deal. Leslie and Eva talk, which is the mother-daughter duo. Leslie and Eva talk about their plan and how they have a plan to hurt the people that hurt Leslie. And Eva says that she's all in. I can tell you that um, Eva will be Nicole's replacement uh, assistant in the office. So that puts her one step closer to the guy Ted, who's going to be revealed to be a father. Now, the only question is, does he know that Eva is his daughter? Or does, Leslie have her and, he didn't want anything to do with the baby, or he didn't know she's pregnant? But I mean, we got time. There's only episode 2. That's going to be coming out. Andre comes to see Nicole and Ted. He wants to scout the upcoming photo shoot that he will be doing for Nicole. They revealed that Andre is Ted's nephew and that Andre's parents have passed away. Episode 3, we learned they not only passed away, but they left him a lot of money. Um, Vernon and Anita realize that they have to give Bill what he wants, or he'll use what he knows to get what he wants. Anita says that protecting Martin is their priority. So clearly something happened with Martin. He heard the little pow-pow shots when he was having his bad dream. So he covered up something that's probably a you-know-what, you know, got rid of the bodies. And finally, we have Danny busting into Bill's office, knocking things off the desk with a golf club and then cursing at him. And Bill looking shocked, but on social media, I get comment that I couldn't tell if he was shocked or turned on after the interaction that Bill and Danny is going to have in episode 3. A lot of people are hoping that Bill and Danny have like cheat on Haley. So I can actually kind of see that happening. That they keep saying Bill's a cheater, Bill's a cheater. Haley's gonna find out the hard way. He's smooth talking Haley, saying all the right things, but I'm sure he did the same with Danny. And we will see what happens in the next episodes coming up. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video and the next review of Beyond the Gates, episode 3.